Hello, hello again, everybody. Second Tech is here with Atakline for this Thursday, April the 2nd, 2015. I didn't make a attack line yesterday, I was going to, but now I'm going to today. Let's kick off this first attack line of the month of April with Billboard number ones. Well, this first time saying this in a couple weeks, we have a still number one album. Yes, still number one album. We're getting a lot of 1 week number ones as of late. But now we have a first multi-week number one album in the last couple of weeks as Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly lands at number one again, second week in a row. Thanks to sales physically, of course, the album was released physically last week following the digital version leaking, purposely being leaked a week earlier. That's why it was number one last week, because the digital sales. And this week, the physical sales were taken into account for the first time. Well, we have a still number one album. I'm saying this. 13 weeks at number one. The longest number one of the 2010s. Longest way at number one this decade on the Hot 100. Uptown Funk You Up. Uptown Funk You Up. It currently ties The Boy Is Mine and The End of the World by Boyz II Men as the third longest number one. Of course, the longest number one single of all time is One Sweet Day, 16 weeks. So 3 more weeks for it to tie the longest number one record, and 4 weeks if it breaks it. So Uptown Funk could be not just be the longest number one single of this decade, could be the longest number one ever if it keeps this up. I see no one beating it right now. It's everywhere. Overplayed, but it's still fun to play as I'm a disc jockey. So, there you go. Uptown Funk, still number one. Kendrick Lamar, still number one as well. On the album and singles charts of Billboard. Speaking of Billboard, or should I say Billboards. A couple weeks ago, as we all know, as I call it this Attack Line show, there was billboards popping up talking about Satisfaction Thursday, March 19th. We thought that'll be the day that a rumored Rolling Stones tour would be announced. Well, that day came and went. And then yesterday, at long last, the rumors are true, the worst kept secret in all of rock, the Rolling Stones funkily announced their tour dates as speculated, the Zip Code Tour. It's because it's in the U.S. and every place is a zip code, and it's kind of tying in with the reissue of Sticky Fingers, to be reissued on May 26th in America, May 25th in Europe. This is probably one of the last few releases on Tuesday, because I think starting in July, I think everybody's going to come out on Friday and not on Tuesday. Tuesday's been like a day that America's picked, but now everyone's going to release their albums on Friday now. Or was that April Fool's? I'm not sure. There's a lot news yesterday. I'm not sure what was April Fool and what was not. Mostly it's not April Fools. There were rumors when this tour was being speculated that they were going to perform Sticky Fingers in its entirety. Mick Jagger said to RollingStone.com that is still a possibility. They're not sure about how it'll look in a stadium, because it is a 15-city stadium tour in America that will kick off in San Diego. But they are going to say they're going to perform songs for the album, including songs they haven't performed in recent years, because the Kanye's have obviously been playing Brown Sugar, Wild Horses, Bitch, and Dead Flowers. Ready to perform some deep cuts like Sister Morphine, I'm hearing. And Mick Taylor will not be joining him on his tour. We're not making any cameos like he did on several other dates on the tour last time. Like I said, the tour will kick off May 24th in San Diego. They'll hit Columbus, Ohio Stadium. They're going to be in Minneapolis, Dallas, Atlanta. Most of the cities and markets they skipped on the last U.S. tour 2 years ago, including, more importantly, Detroit, Michigan, July 8th at Comerica Park. Being the first time they're going to be at Comerica Park and in the city of Detroit in 10 years. The tour ends July 15th in Quebec. Now, a lot of people are like, why not Denver? Why not? There was a rumored date at Levi Stadium. All those people bitch about the Stones not going to the city. Join the fucking club. I was in that club 2 years ago when the Stones skipped Detroit. I was like, fuck, but traveling's fun. I'm going to see you two in Toronto. So take a road trip to see the Stones if they're not in your city. At least I have the luxury of having the Stones in my state and not having to go out of state, but still. There you go. Stones Zip Code Tour finally announced, kicking off in the month of May. Tickets go on sale April the 13th. And pre-sale start April 8th for American Express card users and Pandora. Radio's got a Stones radio station. They're going to have their own pre-sale on the 9th of April. Now let's get on to a little movie news. A little sidetrack here, a little movie news. Because Disney's been on a roll lately. With Frozen, they got the live-action Beauty and the Beast coming. Frozen 2 coming. And Toy Story 4. Now they got a new animated musical coming soon. 2D animated film called Moana, or Mona, coming out in 2016. According to Disney, Mona tells the story of a young lady who uses her navigational skills to find her way to a fabled island. Accompanying her on this journey will be the legendary demigod Maui. And playing Maui in this new animated Disney musical will be the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment, the star of the upcoming film coming out this weekend, Furious 7, actually coming out tomorrow. And of course, WWE legend, the People's Champion, The Rock. He's sung on other things. He sung on the reprogramming before. He even had a rap song on the WWE album, when it was WWF at the time. WWF The Music Volume 5, with him doing Pie with Slick Rick. Rock posted a picture of himself signing a contract to officially sign on to this film, saying at Disney Studios, signing contracts to play the male lead in the next big classic animated musical, #Mona. Just had an amazing 2-hour presentation. It's easy to see why they're the greatest storytellers in the world. I'm excited. He's been in Disney films before. I think he was in The Game Plan and Escape the Witch Mountain, among others. But this is Rock's first time being in a Disney animated film. He further goes on saying that I'm so excited. And in the background, in this photo, he has like pictures of stand-ups from this Big Hero 6 movie that was a big hit last year. Jumping for joy because I'm going to sing in the movie. So it's going to be interesting to see Rock sing in a movie for once, even if it's animated. So there you go, The Rock to be starring in a new Disney animated musical film, Mona, coming out next year. No specific date, but it's coming out sometime next year. Now it's time to talk about 2 female singers who have either admitted they battle the disease and one that's currently hospitalized for one. Let's get to one that's currently hospitalized first. Famous folk singer Joni Mitchell got hospitalized over the weekend after being found unconscious in a Los Angeles home. And she's had a various amount of health problems, including one ailment that's got scientists puzzled, called Morgellons or Morgellons. People who don't believe they have the condition report liaisons that don't heal, fibers extruding from the skin, and uncomfortable sensations like pins and needles tingling or stinging. Sufferers may also report fatigue and problems with short-term memory and concentration. I hope that's not me. I don't have any tingling. But I do have fatigue. In short-term memory, I do kind of have problems, but not that much. I don't think I have it. But I'm just reading the symptoms. I'm like, oh, that's not me. I don't think so. But Morgellons is not a medically accepted diagnosis. That's why scientists have been puzzled by this unimaginable disease that some would say it's made up. But apparently Joni Mitchell is hospitalized for that. But she is in the hospital undergoing tests and awake and in good spirits, according to her publicist. And she did regain consciousness, and she is perfectly fine. She's perfectly resting well in the hospital. So there you go. Get well to Joni Mitchell. And at least when she's in the hospital, she knows the prohibition of Pain Paradise put up a parking lot. trying to make a Joni Mitchell joke, but I uh, can't make one. Anyway, while Joni Mitchell's battling with a disease, Avril Lavigne admitted that she battled one herself, admitting she had Lyme disease. Now, there was a few months ago when Avril Lavigne said that she was feeling ill, and fans sent her get well with messages, but she didn't really specify what she was suffering from until yesterday in a front page news on People magazine, admitting she had a near 5-month battle with Lyme disease, keeping her bedridden. She started feeling it last year during her 30th birthday. She found out she was suffering it during her 30th birthday. After months of being lethargic and lightheaded, she didn't get a diagnosis. She had a severe case of Lyme disease. Apparently, she got bit by a bug, and she had to be taken care of by many people, including her husband, Jack Kroger. And she's feeling more like herself, according to the article on People.com, saying that she's 80% better. She's ready to release a new album, the follow-up to her self-titled album that featured the minor hit, Here's to Never Growing Up. She has a new single called Fly coming out in support of the 2015 Special Olympics. She said she could never have made it through this whole ordeal without her mom, her fans, and like I said, her husband. So, glad to see and hear that Avril Lavigne's doing okay. I've been a big fan of hers. I even saw her in concert a couple years ago. I've always been a fan of her music, so I'm glad to see that she's A-okay. Because Canadian. Anyway, that is it for the Atakline for today. Thank you very much for watching. That mind, y'all been attacked by the news. From Zach. Thank you so much. See ya. Yeah.